Welcome back to another episode of Templars Talks. This is number 30 already, and we have lots to discuss. Let's start it off right away with Dark Mantle Festival, which we already talked a little bit on in the previous episode to hype it up. But yeah, I went all the way to Copenhagen to see this festival.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting. I always like being there because you see so much smaller bands that randomly have interesting things. Yeah, but like they have a variety of genres in there, and I always like it. That
nice.
At one point you're watching punk, and then next is thrash, and then you see black metal. It's I like that.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, but this year the festival opened with a band called Pink Plague. Yes. I already talked a bit. Yeah. And like I said in I think previous episode or the one before, I can't remember. Well, one of the members is a photographer for the festival, so she's kind of familiar with the festival. And yeah, I was a bit thinking at first that it would be like I don't know, Pink Flamingos, sort of like a theater band, like we say in the would be good for Theater Friday at a certain Dutch festival.
Indeed, yes.
But hey, joke's on me, I guess, because it was a bit more than that. Sure, I mean, we start with bubbles and glitter and pink and glam and that sort of thing. Those elements are all there, but it's actually quite a fun sound that actually has some good backing. I did not expect that. I thought it would be just like one big joke. So the joke's on me. Let's say it like that.
Nice.
I think what people can expect from this is a bit more electronic industrial sounds with definitely a party vibe in there, of course. Think a bit of the very first album of Fear of Domination, maybe a little bit in the vibe of King Satan, but then a bit more pop-ish. So people who like that kind of music will have fun with it. Sure, there was like a cover of Kesha's TikTok, so you can see that party thing is in there, and I kind of like that. It was a very entertaining start of the festival, so to say. So
Nice.
yeah, Pink Plague, very good. I loved how the audience, which of course was a lot of friends and family, were all dressed up for it. I mean. I stood in front of the stage and immediately I got some sort of necklace of neon. You know, those neon glow sticks.
Yeah.
Somebody just randomly gave me one and I was like, oh, okay.
But a pink one then.
No, I don't remember. It's just glowy. Yeah. And then there were people with the bubbles in the audience. And yeah. Fun. But the second band, there's like two halls in this festival. One is the main hall where they started, and the other one is, I think, similar size or even larger, but serves a bit as the second stage. And there is a building, you need to go outside and walk there. So I decided not to bring like jackets, because then you're constantly with that. Yeah. But it will, yeah. Interesting. The first band to open there was called System Fail or something. It's not an English name, so pronunciation a la Danish, I think. They played punk. They had a very eager attitude, but I don't know, somewhat straightforward sounds in punk. Like if you say punk, then this is what you hear, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I sometimes felt like I didn't feel what they were trying. You know, when you think of punk, you feel like anger and passion and statements or whatever. And I'm sure they were there, but I just didn't feel it You know, it's like, so you want to feel it, like you're angry. This statement, I want to say this, I want to say that. And that label was maybe not completely there for me. But yeah, that is sometimes, maybe it was different for other people. And then, like I said, genre switched. We went straight to black metal from that. It's like a completely different sound. And that was in the main hall, of course. And this band is called Gentherd, if I say correctly. They've been around for about a decade. I think they had like 2 albums out or so. Last one probably a couple years ago. But what I really liked is how they really had a solid set, you know. They make it logic to listen to their set. And like, it sounds something dumb, but a lot of bands don't do that. Like, that you have a beginning, a middle, and an end to a set. And for them, that they really did that, which I really like.
Yeah.
The only thing is that sometimes the song itself has a bit of a structure that you're like, okay, where are they heading to with this song? Are they gonna get like super angry, or gonna have a more mellow sound in atmospheric sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That was kind of what I was missing in the songs itself. It was always a bit but if you listen to this whole set, it sort of came together. So I decided for myself, I just gonna see this set as one big song, just to make it make sense.
Yeah.
But I like them. So they have a good idea of what they want to do, have this atmospheric thing also in there. So yeah, I like it. This band this festival is always good with the black metal bands. So good for that. Oh, and the next band, oh my gosh, they always bring a little bit of a smile on my face if I think back about this one. Forgive me the pronunciation once again. Danish, Slundal, whatever. They're Dracula inspired. And then think black metal / speed metal kind of sound. Blackened.
Yeah.
Speed. Same. So you see the singer with the wings, so to say, the Dracula wings, and
cool.
He was like sometimes he comes up forward and comes really close to the audience, and then he's like waving around while he's standing up on the drum platform, and I was like, okay, guy, you have so much energy, and flatter around. I really like that. They have a good theme, I guess, but I wonder, like, how long can you continue doing this theme? I mean, how long can you make songs about Dracula?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of bands that struggle with a theme after a certain amount of albums, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they can make it a bit more horror, or switch to one of the other classics at some point. Keep it as one, maybe one album themed. I don't know. But yeah, nice and interesting show. That's for sure. The next one, Nightlight. Yeah, they didn't really do anything to me, to be honest. They're a goth rock formation. But not really like the typical goth rock that you would think of, like 16 and Eyes or something.
Yeah.
Or The Cure, for that matter, if you look a little bit more backwards. Like, it's not that cliche kind of goth rock. Here and there you hear the dark voice coming up a bit more, and other songs it was really not that much. So thematically maybe a bit more. Yeah, they had one album, I think in 2009 or something, because like I said, they were a bit of a comeback kid.
Yeah.
And that album was called Funeral of Love. So, yeah. But I found it interesting that the audience was going crazy for them. They really liked the comeback, and I was thinking, as I probably missed the highlight of their career. Like, why do people like it?
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's not bad, but it's just not like standing out too much to me. Yeah. I think they ended the set at some point with some cover. If I remember correctly, it was some Billy Idol thing. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't get the hype from it. I just don't get it. It was okay, but like, not for me. And then I think a band that I thought was maybe the headliner of the day for me. And that's a German formation called Abglanz. They make black metal. And they really... What I really liked with them is that they already set the atmosphere by putting up a lot of candles, actual candles. And I was thinking like, people are like standing really close. The band is standing on the same floor as the audience. Is this a wise decision to put up the candles? But okay. Yeah. I heard later on, the day after, that one woman burned some hair into the candles. So yeah. I was probably right about that. But hey. On the other hand, people have their own responsibility to take care of their hair
themselves.
Yeah. This band was formed, I think, in 2020 or so, and a first debut album came out last year. I think they played a lot of those songs. Makes sense if it just came out. And what I really liked from this band is they have a really good balance in their sound. Everything is there. Everything has a place on its own, but it comes together in a very balanced way. Like, you can hear the guitar, you can hear the drums, you can hear the vocals, everything, you know? It's all there, and it comes very balanced. And the way their songs go, they really have a higher moments of intensity, and then they get slower a little bit. Yeah, very entertaining and fine to watch. Refined to watch, so to say. I think this band we will hear a lot more of in future because they certainly know what they're doing. Definitely a highlight for me. And the last band, Uganda. I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly again, because Danish. It's a one-man project, actually, but I was watching a whole band, and that guy seems to be based in Slovakia, but he's originally Danish. I don't know. All irrelevant to the music, obviously, but I don't know. It was a very dynamic set with what they did, and I thought was okay. That's interesting. I mean, sometimes if you have a one-man project, you know, then everything is written by the same person. Not every musician is skilled in every instrument, you know. So usually they have one or two that they're better at than the rest, and then you can hear that in a song. You're like, But the whole thing sounded quite okay. Like, as a whole band, it came out quite well. And a very atmospheric sound was really there tonight. And I think I liked that they have a very, I don't know, solid sound. It wasn't like very up and down in the tension that they were bringing, but a very confident sound. Like it's kind of grabs your attention. It leaves you watching. But I think it was a good ending of the evening, the first night, so to say. And 7 bands this first night. Quite interesting. The second day we had a couple more. We started with a Paradigm, and that is a bit more like rock, grungy kind of sound. I think I've seen these faces here before in different bands. They've been around for a few years, I think. Yeah, what can I say about it? It was interesting to watch, but it's like not too heavy, so it's kind of a mellow start to the evening, so to say. Then next we had Helge, and Helge is one thing I liked about them is that they make black metal, but it's blended with some folk and very atmospheric. And they had this huge horn standing on the side, and I was looking at that when I was standing in the audience. I was like, I need to have a nice picture when that thing is gonna get played. But you know it's not gonna get played too much. And also it was like literally on the side of the stage, like outside of the lights. So you're like, how is this gonna work? Yeah, like how is this gonna work? But it took a while before they start to use that anyway. I think they released the second full-length album like in November or something, so it's like very new still. A couple of songs, and the first couple tracks were just very energetic, very haunting sound, the typical black metal that you know. Then at some point you hear them bringing in a bit more of that folky feel. The horn came in, they had some drums that were capturing my attention. Yeah, I think this band has just that uniqueness that you know that this is gonna be one of those that you could see, for example, at the Pagan Fest, for example.
Nice.
Yeah. And so in a couple years, people might know a little more about them.
About this band.
Yeah, I think this is one that needs to grow a little bit and gather a lot more audience. And then I think they will succeed. They have a very good idea what they want to bring. So, yeah, let's go. Okay, and then the next band we were looking at was Swedish. They bring some punk. And then you have to think like skate park energy, how I call it, like typical like that.
Well, like I understand what you mean by that, so it's...
Yeah. I mean, punk isn't a genre that's very close to Templars, I think. But it's always nice to have it along. You have this typical oi, oi, oi kind of punk, which was definitely not them. But this is typical, the skate sound. You see them being very energetic. I've got some jumping going on in there. And yeah. I'll say I like that this kind of bands were there to bring some energy into the place. You saw people reacting to it and feel more like, I don't know, energetic. It was not like some big mosh pit happened or something. But I don't think that there was any mosh pit at all at the festival. But
there wasn't?
No, but it's kind of like very small area and a lot of black metal, so I can understand that isn't really happening. Yeah, then next we had Killing, some Danish thrash. And yeah, I think they have been active for quite some years, over a decade or so. And yeah, that's not completely new. Their debut has been from, I don't know, 2021, if I remember correctly. And yeah, so I didn't see any follow-up of that, so I hope they do. But what I liked about it is like all of the musicians were very energetic, and you see them constantly like I don't know, bringing that onto their faces too. If I look at my pictures from their set, and in almost every picture I see them screaming, you know. So that says something, right? I was like
raw energy.
You know these emojis will have the mouth open. I was thinking like if I post one of those pictures, I should just add like these emojis with their mouth open. Yeah. Good to see. Yeah. Even the drummer, I had a really nice one with the mouth open. Yeah. And then after that we were presented with Djevelkult, some Norwegian black metal. And this band has been playing at the festival before a couple years ago, I think 2019. I was there as well. So it was good to see them back. I mean, I remember that I liked them back then. But I must say I haven't completely followed up on what they were doing. So I was really interested to see how things were going. And I think they were growing quite well. They had a very solid set today. Everything I like to see in this kind of black metal formations. It has this old school sound, but not like, you know, I don't know, basement kind of recording kind of sound. Not like, oh, we're so true that we can't be melodic or whatever. No. Yeah. I know that their set was very dark also. Very for photographing, they had a lot of monocolors going on, but I'm persistent in going after what I wanted, and that's some nice colorful pictures. Which I succeeded in, so you can watch that on the website. For the whole festival, by the way, I have also so much pictures that I also think of doing a black and white set, like gallery, just for the sake of it, because also I have some nice pictures where some audience is involved, and I'm like, yeah, otherwise they're just gonna be on my desk doing nothing. And maybe I should just find a way to put them as an extra somewhere, because why not? All right. Yeah, the next band, Stug. Oh, I like them so much. They have a bit of that thrash punk kind of energy also in there, and they were jumping quite a bit. I caught one of the singer being all up in the air in a small hole. No, that's interesting. So I kind of liked their energy a lot. They were really like dragging the audience along with that. I don't think I've seen any other band being this energetic here in the festival. Like, they really went for it. I don't really know where they're from. I haven't remembered that. And what I found it's so interesting how energetic and powerful as a sound they were. If you speak to the people off stage, they were like just kind and cute. I remember, was it the singer, I think? He came to me afterwards when I was standing in the other hall, and he was like, oh, hey, thank you so much for taking pictures. And I was just thinking like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll send you. No, just really thank you. I was like, oh, you're so cute.
Cute.
No, just, I don't know. I thought that like that energy that came out on stage was like, okay, you got it going on. You really have that in you, and you need to like release it there. Yeah, so Stug. Yeah, let's go, people. I would love to see them again at this festival, maybe some other year again, because I like their energy. All right, then we were watching Air Raid, which is, I don't know, a bit more heavy metal minded, I think. Don't really know that much about this band beforehand, but yeah, people went for it. They had this really big band energy, you know? The way they performed, it's like, what are you doing on this small stage? Like, it felt like they could, like, go each way and then still have... They make the stage look so much bigger in a way. I don't know how to describe. Like, it's like if you would put them at a bigger stage, like, say, a main stage somewhere at a festival, and they would rock that just as they were doing there. Like, it's almost like you get the same kind of... I mean, it was only a small space. I think I saw in the doorway that the festival, that specific hall was allowed 150 people or so.
Oh, that's small.
Yeah, that is small. But, like, I was thinking, like, okay, but you rock this stage and you make it look like you're on a stage for a couple thousand. That's
cool.
Yeah, that was what I really liked about Air Raid. So, more about that on the website. Yeah. Then the Swedish Bullet Size. Oh, I've seen them before. I have a long relationship with Bullet Size by reviewing their albums or EPs, whatever. I mean, I think it was actually maybe the singer of the Bullet Size who introduced me to the Dark Mantle Festival.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was really looking forward to see them. They have this death metal sound. Kind of something I haven't seen before on the festival in a way. Like, that I really liked. That they have just something new to bring, even though they're like basically headlining in this hall. And they bring a lot of energy in the music, but performance-wise, they're quite static. They're not jumping around as much as, for example, the Stug. But it's like the sound is really like falling over you. Like you're standing there and it feels like, whoa, you're leaning backwards. Like, oh, okay, there it is. Bam, in your face.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I think they are working on something new to release as well. But I'm not sure. And yeah, it was good to see them again here. I think a lot of people knew them from previous performance, so for them it was also nice to be back. A full house. People were really going for them. So yeah, definitely a successful performance here tonight. And then the last band that was playing is called Kirkebran. Well, if I say that, you probably already know what kind of genre they play. Yes, it is black metal. And they have a very cold sound, I think. It was for me not my favorite one of the evening. And not from the festival as in black metal, but I really liked what they were doing on the performance. You at some point I was thinking, oh, this guy is one of those black metal people that's just like having I don't know, the shitty audience attitude, how to say. You know, sometimes they really are like just doing their thing and being a bit rude to the audience because apparently that's part of their image. But for them, that... What? That's true. Some bands do that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like they want to be evil because that's their image.
Yeah, I know.
Because when the first couple songs, I was like, oh, it's one of those bands. But I think they made up for it. It's more than that. And they were just focusing on the performance. A couple times the vocalist even went into the audience and come up close to the people. To bring their point across, I guess. So they were pointing at people, and people were really like getting along with that. I really liked that. What I thought about them in general, I think maybe they were not the headliner for me. I think they could have easily switched with Devil Cult being the headliner, and them playing a bit earlier. But that's maybe also personal preference a little bit, so to say. I think in general it was a good band for the festival. People really like this kind of music here, and a good start from the festival in the Pink Plague kind of party electronic industrial sound, and a good end with the black metal sound. You can see everything here. So today's I hope next year they will have this festival again. It was sold out, so I guess people will enjoy another year of Dark Mantle. In the past I think they also had Dark Mantle on 3 days, but that was in a different location where only one stage was present. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I liked it. Good addition. Let's go next year. And now I'm done talking. I'm curious.
Now I have to
about
talk.
Your story, because you went to see that one band that I interviewed and some other bands. So let me hear.
Yeah, well, I went to... We in the Netherlands, we have Dynamo Metal Fest. It's in August. And every year there is like a competition going on for one of the smaller new Dutch bands to claim a spot to open the festival on the very first day. And this time there were 5 bands selected. They were Nunspeed, No Kings Allowed, Inherited, Out of the Blue, and then Brooklyn. It was nicely crowded, not too crowded. I think it was a really good evening. I think the quality of the bands was actually quite high. The first band, Nunspeed, for me, it was my least favorite. For me, it felt like they needed a little bit more practice. They've been just put together, and there was not really a band on stage. And sometimes the singer was a little bit off key. So that was the first band. But then the whole audience got blown away by No Kings Allowed. They are one of those masked bands that we know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the band I interviewed last November, December. So
Yeah.
I think some of our most dedicated followers have seen that interview, and I'm really curious.
They were awesome. For me, it was the best band of the evening. But that's, I think, a little bit more also because of personal preference. They reminded me of they don't sound like it, or they don't exactly are something like that, but they reminded me of Slaughter to Prevail. They bring the same dose of energy to the stage, and maybe a little bit, but that's maybe because of the mask, a little bit of Slipknot as well. But they were so eager, they were so entertaining, they were so I don't know, it didn't feel like they were battling for a beginner band, you know. It felt like they were playing like years and years. They had experience, and I don't know if they all come from other bands in the past and they bring that to the table, but it was really good. It was entertaining. They jumped in the audience. That's also a new thing people nowadays do. Every band jump in the audience.
I shared my opinion about that often.
But they built a really good party, and I really like them, and I can see them playing festivals for sure. So that was the second band. Then we had, let me think, Out of the Blue, I think, and hardcore band. They were a bit younger. I think maybe the youngest of all. Well, maybe also Nunspeed, but they were nice. They were entertaining as well. The audience went wild. Of course, there were a lot of mosh pits with No Kings Allowed, Out of the Blue, and Inherited. For me, it felt they need a little bit more... not per se skills in entertaining, but I don't know. It felt they were just missing a little bit of something to be the winner, you know?
Yeah.
But they definitely are on their way. It was entertaining. They're nice. Then we had then Brooklyn, a band. And that one is standing out of the whole bunch because it was totally different than the other bands. It was like more sort of a themed performance. It has a little bit of theater show. The singer is dressed up in a certain outfit with a lot of eyes, and he calls himself the Many-Eyed One.
Oh.
And he sings a little bit of occult stuff, but also a lot of sex influences there. He has dancers on the stage. It's something to watch. Definitely, it was really good as well. The quality was really good, but I don't think they would be like
an opener.
An opener for a metal festival. They're more. I felt they were a little bit more like in the just they were a little bit more, also a little bit more gothic, shock rocker, occult metal, really good. But for me, in a dark place, in a venue.
I was just thinking that it sounds way more like it should be in a dark venue.
Yes,
in the night, preferably.
Preferably in the night. Yeah. I think they had something really good going on, but because of that, I don't see them opening at a festival. But yeah, if you have a chance to check them out, I think they will get far, I think. And then we had Inherited. You've talked about them before as well, I think. And they are the winners of this evening. They play a little bit more trashy metal, also with hardcore influences. They're quite young also. They also had a good performance on stage. And they won the competition. And I might go check them out next month. Next month starts in 2 days. They will have a debut album release. So I might go check them out. They will playing with Out of the Blue as well, I think. So Inherited, they had a lot of energy. The vocalist runs. There's no point where he is standing still almost. But maybe that's a bit of the trash influence there. Also with the white socks pulled up very high.
Oh dear.
They kind of also reminded me of the early the Finnish. Of course, now it slipped my mind, but
I don't know.
Well, one of the Finnish bands that now plays something different.
Lost Society?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a little bit. They don't sound like them, definitely not. But they had the same like when we saw Lost Society in the beginning. They had a sort of eager to play, sort of enthusiasm coming from them, and that's exactly what I saw at Inherited. They reminded me of that eagerness, I think. And they won, and I can totally see them open up a festival. Good for them. For me personally, I liked No Kings Allowed a little bit more. They also had an amazing show, and I see them. I hope they will play festivals this year. I haven't seen them on any bill yet, but if they keep doing what they're doing, I'm pretty sure next year they will be playing festivals, because they are definitely a festival band.
I saw some videos, so I know. I mean, quality, definitely. Yeah.
So I think this evening, there were 4 really strong bands, or actually three really strong bands, that made it hard for the jurors to come up who's gonna win. It was really nice.
Did the audience have anything to say, or?
No, it was purely the jury.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not in the organization. But I think the audience went also the most wild with Inherited and No Kings Allowed. I think they were really close. And I think it was a hard decision to pick the winner.
And I can imagine sometimes asking the audience to vote is not always the most fair.
I think there were a lot of
band
friends
who's
and family.
Yeah, the band who's basically the most local has the most people along. So yeah. True. Makes sense.
So it was a really fun evening, really nice. Looking forward to see them.
At
some
Dynamo
of them.
Metal Fest.
Yes.
And where else they kind of pop up, because it sounds like these people are going to be on the Dutch and maybe Belgian metal scene a lot.
Yeah. I think 3 are really, really... Yeah. They need to grow more. They need to play more.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out on them. No Kings Allowed, Inherited, and then Brooklyn. Definitely to check them out. Really cool. And that was my 2 weeks. in one evening.
Awesome.
I talked about it really, really fast. But
yeah, that's because I already took up like half an hour. And it's like, I actually went...
Exactly.
But I went quite fast through all the bands. So, I mean, I didn't go into the full depth. People can read my review for that. So, I have no shame. Okay, well, let's move on to our next subject then. Yes. And that is the album we picked. And it might be one that many are seeking and many are waiting. And also a lot of people have no clue whatsoever about this band. The band is called The Man-Eating Tree.
Yes.
They have been popular back in the days quite a lot, having this kind of doomish atmospheric sound.
I think I have somewhere an old CD in a carton sleeve somewhere. I don't know if it's something promotional, if it's something.
They were on tour with. They were actually on tour with Amorphous at some point.
Oh, but I don't think I've seen them with them.
No, I was there. It was. I think
2008ish.
In Metropole or something. Far away from where I lived back then. I remember I went to see them. Was it Zwolle maybe? I don't even know. In any case, they're back. Nice. They were ending things. Their previous singer, I remembered only after seeing them for shitloads of time that he was actually the cook in one of the venues I frequented when I lived in Finland. And I was like, at some point I saw him at his Instagram cooking fish, and I was like, oh my god,
you're him.
Now I remember you. Yeah, but that guy is not along with the revamped version of The Man-Eating Tree. They completely switched things up in that sense. They have you can call it that they sort of reunited or something, but there are some lineup changes, and the vocals are now done by Manne Ikonen, and
we
of
know
course
him
from Ghost Brigade, but also Janne Marcus is doing that from Poison Black, the Abbey, and the Man-Eating Tree. I remember because at that point Janne Marcus quit Poison Black. I was seeing Poison Black in Be Below. And
me too.
Then I already knew that the next day I was going to see the Man-Eating Tree. And then I remember talking to Wille, and I said, oh yeah, what happened? He was like, yeah, you left or whatever. Didn't want to elaborate. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to see the Man-Eating Tree tomorrow. He's like, oh, you should really go and say hi to him from me. And I actually did that, and I got some funny photo out of it. That's definitely an insider between them and me, I guess. Very funny. But yeah, so no hate, but just other priorities, so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, also back in lineup, Aksu Hantu.
Yeah, from Entwine, I know him. It's kind of funny because you mentioned Be Below, but I remember Entwine played there, and we had to drop off Aksu at the airport. He had to, I don't know, he had to toast on a boat or something, and he just... It's kind of funny.
But I remember that I think once I called Aksu the runaway drummer, because often he stays only for one or two albums and then being like, about
seen it, done it, something new.
Yep. And I found it interesting, so to say, that in the official press release it says clearly X Entwine and then comma Tuoni S-Tool.
S-Tool.
But those bands are... Tuoni and S-Tool are not really active. Are they still not... is this what hiatus? Yeah. This brings up questions, because with Janne Marcus, it says X Poison Black, X the Abbey.
Yeah.
So it's not like they meant X and then following all the bands that quit, you know? So I have to investigate this a little bit.
Yeah, the way
That's
it's
my eye
still
for
in
detail.
S2, so S2 is still...
I don't
Didn't
know.
die.
Are we gonna get no?
Well, there is a lot of happening about returning bands. We have to talk about that a little bit later, but
Of course.
it keeps
Yeah.
Interesting things.
Jongens, people, you're in for a long episode. That's for sure.
And
But hey, let's move on to the music, I
Mika.
guess.
For more Subita is playing bass.
Yeah, more, but that's not an X.
No, that's not an X.
That's just more Sabine.
Still
They are
going.
still active. Okay, let's put the joking aside.
Yes.
And
we can do
let's just, I want quickly
album.
go read up the statement that is made by founding member Janne Marcus
that. Oh, yeah.
about the band's activation and new beginning, because they're
beginning,
obviously
yeah.
not, their sound is different. So
Yeah.
this, let me read this out for all of
yeah.
you. This is not only the new gathering for old friends. This is a new musical direction, allowing the boundaries to be pushed wider and further. We are very much looking forward to presenting this to you. Aha! So they are well aware that they're going to bring us something different than before.
Yeah.
And that was intentional. So if people who are big fans of the sound of the Man-Eating Tree back in the days, you are warned. It's a bit different. It's not like...
I put it on and I was like, okay, this sounds nice, but in my head, the Man-Eating Tree was sounding a little bit different. And I was like, or am I thinking of a wrong band right now? No, I was thinking of the right band. So yeah, that definitely will happen. If you don't know, they switched up gears a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's cool that they like put it out there, but I
Yeah.
hope that all the fans are realizing that it is gonna be a bit different.
And they give it a chance.
It's not like, I'm not gonna say it's like a big, huge leap, so to say.
Yeah.
It is
But
in the range of thought of what has been before. That's it's not like you go from punk to black metal or something.
No.
But let's say there's definitely some changes. And speaking about sounds like bands, I've been asking Elvira for like, gosh, do you think this album reminds you of some other Finnish bands a little bit?
I don't. Well, my mind is not working today, but there is, and I said to you because we talked a little bit briefly before. But I said the growlings is reminding me of something, but I haven't listened. And you know, Mana is singing it. So from Ghost Brigade, I've seen Ghost Brigade, listened to Ghost Brigade, but it's been years and years, and I don't think it actually reminds me of that. But there is a band. They remind me of a band, but my mind doesn't make the connection there. The band is a little bit more, maybe a little bit more darker and sharper, the vocals.
I wonder, because if I'm gonna mention the name, you're gonna be what your response is going to be.
No, because you say you're gonna mention a clean vocalist, and that one.
Yeah, but I think maybe it's also not per se only the clean vocals, but also the combination of the girls and the cleaner vocals. But for me, the where it clicked for me was with the clean vocals. I was like, oh wait, that's now in combination with Janne's sound, I think. Yeah.
So,
okay.
Spill it.
There we go. Blackson Aeon.
Huh.
Mikko. I think we spoke about Mikko recently. And how I appreciate his vocals from Cinnamore, for example. And he's with Kaunis Kuulematon. He's doing the Dawn of Solace album. I think that's also something that sounds in a way similar.
I get that. Yeah. But it's not. It's not. I don't think it's the hunting, sharp, dark
No.
growls that remind me of. It is a dark themed, very melancholical band, but my mind doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow it will pop up. But it will be too late. But I have to say, I do absolutely love the new sound of the man-eating tree. I think the clean vocal and the sharper growls, it fits really nice together. And I think the last time we spoke about a band doing the review, we said that the album wasn't really something as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think this album is actually a whole. It fits very well together. The songs, there's something nice happening. And it, with all means, I'm not saying they all sound the same.
No,
but it fits together.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been working on it, I think. I really like it. I really like the vibe, the melancholy, but I love that anyway. So
true. I think what I really liked about the album is that it really has a good blend of this atmosphere, and then you have the riffs going on to it.
Yes.
Yeah. But sure, it's something new. But yet, if you're like into that kind of sound of the Finnish bands, like Before the Dawn, even Wolfheart, Black Sun Aeon, and of course the bands mentioned from the band members.
Although I don't think
this is one.
It doesn't
it's
really.
Not just,
it doesn't sound like Poison Black or Estool or Antwine or the.
That's definitely what I'm not what I'm
Which
saying.
is
I was
good,
like, if this is the kind of bands that you like, then the Man-Eating Tree album is gonna be something
Different.
you need to check out. That's what I want to say. Like, I think it's in good line with all these bands. You can really get that. Like, if that's those kind of bands are your thing, then definitely go after this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, it's a little bit different than all those.
Sure, but I don't need more copies than.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. We kind of like if there's something unique to it.
I really like this one.
Oh, yeah.
I think it will be. Thank you, Sabine, for pointing this one to me. You don't have to continue the next 4 months asking me every time, did you listen to it? Did you listen to it? Because I've listened to it, and it will be on my. I think it will be on my playlist. The rest of this year. I think I love it.
And our entire Templars crew is extremely curious about this one. Everybody wanted to listen to this album. Yes. We have someone else other than the two of us who will be reviewing the album. So you get an extra opinion from Bazak. Yeah?
Yes.
And I think I tried to get these guys for an interview. At least they asked me, can we do an interview? I was like, sure, let's do it. Let's go. And then it appears to be a problem with sound, like time-wise, chaos, a frustrated promoter who couldn't get the band to the point of actually doing it. So who knows if we get an opportunity to do that at some point. But I'm not going to do an email interview. Sorry. Nobody really cares about reading interviews if you're not going to be a super technical band. Like, for example, the textures or something. So no, that's not going to be happening anymore. Those times are gone. We're going to do this as a video interview, or even for podcast, it would be fine if we could do that. But not every band is equipped for that yet. So perhaps if they change that, and maybe they come live and we do a face-to-face, that could also work.
Maybe we'll just need to say they're going to play somewhere in the Netherlands. and then we will.
Yeah, or I have to be
Say hi.
around their dates in May on the rocks, Helsinki maybe.
I hear something here.
Yeah, I'm broke
I
as
think
shit.
in May
but,
someone else is playing as well. Huh? Hmm?
No, I'm broke as shit at this point. I mean, I want to keep that for my ikigai, but I've been working on my black greenhouse.
Yeah,
and
it's so cute.
I had
Not
to
that I've
order.
seen much about it. I've seen a few
Yeah,
poles standing up.
yeah. No, the frame is all ready, but I need to paint everything because I want it to be black, like
Share a new photo with
Victorian
us.
Victorian goth style. But I ordered the polycarbonate glass. Which is like 100 times stronger than actual glass or something.
Well, yeah.
And I prefer that over glass. Especially in my yard where the wind is quite onto it. So that costed me a lot of money. So I'm happy that is coming in this week. But yeah. I have to see how my bank account is bleeding at this point.
Yeah. To make lots of out of the country trips to see bands. I get that.
Yeah.
And you have some festivals coming up as well. So.
Yeah, we all know that. But hey, you only live once, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that was already my ikigai because it makes me happy that I progress with my black greenhouse, thick goth style. I found a name for it yesterday, something in Latin, but yeah, maybe I'll expose that on another episode where I can share something more about this when it's in a further state.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's that. The news. Oh dear. Yeah, we have quite some things to discuss this week. We already talked about a comeback band, but there is more.
Yes, also Finnish.
Yeah. And one band that we had the final interview with.
Yes, it was a funny one.
Back in the time, which was probably our most remarkable interview ever. Memorable. Yep. So yeah. That
we are talking about.
Hang on.
Yes.
And of course, we all know that their singer JP has been in Poison Black. Comeback. Was it in 2023?
Yes.
Of course, we were there. We watched it. We seen how amazed he was with the response of people and everything. So I think he figured, like, let's do that for my other band too.
Another band.
Yeah. And of course, all the shows were sold out right away, and everyone, But it feels a bit like, I don't know. Interesting to see that they did do it this way again. I saw online people were complaining about.
Yeah, and the news was coming out on a Monday. That was kind of funny, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I think they announced it, and what was it, the next day the ticket sale started. Of course, the website of the ticket sale, they broke down right away because people were complaining a lot about it. Oh, I couldn't get tickets, it was gone, and the same as all these.
I find it kind of funny.
I think it's ridiculous. They are selling also tickets for like massive concerts, like stadium-sized concerts where everybody wants to go. That. And how are they not gonna be able to keep the website up for a band who sells out of Ostia maybe? Like, what? How? Like
that? But that's. I was gonna say. It was the same with Poison Black and now Carol. Yeah. It's like they're not like these massive, huge bands.
No, they don't play
but they are quite known in a certain group. In a certain I don't know, sound vibe. I don't know. But it's so funny because, I check the Facebook, the Instagram, but it's so funny that with the same with Poison Black, there's so many people from South America and Brazil coming over to see these bands. And I'm like, it's so... They're not like, what you say, stadium bands selling out, doing something to return.
No, but
it kind of baffles my mind that
At this point, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done any research into it, but I'm kind of suspecting that these websites create a bit of the shortage on the tickets. Because it doesn't ring very well with me that they're selling tickets to stadium concert. Let's say, I don't know, Rolling Stones is coming and they have to handle that server-wise. Yeah. Like 50,000 people want the tickets.
That works.
And that works. Maybe that can cause a queue. But like if you're selling how much is the Vastia having? What, like say 1,500 people max. Yeah, I think a bit more.
No, 1,200. I think 1,200.
Let's say something like that. But let's keep it even wide. 1,500. How is that website not possible to handle that amount of people? Are you joking? You're creating a shortage.
Yeah.
And I know this is a thing that the Dutch other podcast... there's a Dutch podcast that on the music scene that is actually has been done several episodes about these tricks of ticket websites that they have about dynamic pricing, and I love to listen to that because I think it's dirty, and I think something like that might be going up with these bands. I mean, sure, they can sell out, good for them, but I think it's created shortage, and I don't know. I don't think it's really fair to the fans to do it this way, but
no. And then tickets will be sold by other people, and they will be resold for higher prices.
Yeah. There's something dirty going on because it doesn't ring well with me that they sell tickets for huge bands and then there's a band who has to sell tickets for 1,500 and then the website goes down. Like, are you kidding me? No, that just doesn't exist.
No,
that doesn't exist. But in all sense, I hope that this is about concerts and not that maybe they will consider another album. I've been considering to reach out to ask about this and if they are going to do something more to see if we can also be the first ones. That we can, after being the last, we can also be the first. Yeah, we'll see. But the story will continue. Because I think it was also some other Finnish bands in the past now, like a couple months, that have their comeback. Leaves me to ask our like listeners, what band do you want to see come back? I'm curious to know. If there's one band that quit, which band do you want to see return? Let us know, leave a comment, and we'll see that. Yeah, then there's one other news that we cannot just ignore. And that's about the Dark Troll Festival. Yeah. Dark Troll Festival released a statement about a week ago. I think it was in the weekend. Like, we're going to respond. We're going to release a statement, but we need to catch our breath and come to senses. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Next day, the Monday, I think, they came out with a statement that their organizer, one of the organizers, one of the founders of the festival, so to say, has been prosecuted for a rape attack. And with it, I don't know. He got off lucky because he confessed. So he does. I don't think he has to go to jail. He just has to pay like shitloads of money and such. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, okay, I didn't know that. And I mean, they basically say in their statement, maybe I should pick it up if I can read it.
I also think it was not at the festival, but.
Yeah, no. It was like the statement itself didn't say exactly what happened,
No.
But that is because the German news website Bild posted a story about this. So I wonder if the newspaper didn't publish that story, would it have been a statement after all? I doubt that. That there would be. Here the statement, it says, the guy who was convicted is called Mike. With immediate effect, Mike will no longer be part of the Dark Swirl Festival. He will be kicked out without hesitation. We do not tolerate any form of sexual assault, violence, or sexism. We and our crew stand respectful and open cooperation. Well, there is not a millimeter of room for violence and sexual assault in our ranks. Oh, fucking really? What was happening last year when I was visiting? Yeah. I think I've spoken even about it in a podcast. That I got physically attacked by a photographer associated to this festival. Yeah. I reached out to the festival organization. I pointed out people who have been witnessing that. And did you think that guy had to leave? No, he got like a lot of meters of space, actually, like the entire fucking photo pit for the rest of the festival. So what are you saying? There's not a millimeter of room for violence. There's a lot of room for violence at this festival, apparently. So I was a bit like, what
as long as you don't get convicted for it.
Yeah, like, but they also didn't bother to investigate that. I mean, the photographer was apparently very embarrassed about his own actions because he stayed at Corona distance away from me for the whole festival after that. Good for him. But I was like, so you're posting up this statement? Like, are you for fucking real? Yeah. In any case, a lot of people were commenting and saying that there's more stories. So I'm probably not the only one who experienced something as same as the girl who actually had this very worse kind of experience with this guy. I know in the article of the newspaper, her name was changed, but people in the comments kind of exposed her real name. I don't like that, but I will not mention her name whatsoever. I'm like, people were really angry also about the fact that they still left Inquisition on the bill, for example.
Yeah, I think Inquisition. It's nice. I saw.
Inquisition vocalist has been prosecuted for child pornography. Apparently that is okay with the festival. Okay. I mean, you don't always know what's going on, but this is like, he's been convicted. Like, kind of like, it's not unknown. I mean, you don't always know what the people is doing. I've been saying that very often, and especially in black metal, people very often say you're a Nazi because the neighbor of your best friend's nephew is kind of a Nazi or something. But in this case, I think like, so this is kind of out in the open and you still book it and people point this out to you in the comments and apparently nothing happened. Good. The whole story has been going on. A lot of comments are still going on.
I like it. Solstafir, an Irish band from Iceland, which I like. Yeah. You don't really like them, but I liked that they pulled out of the festival, as they say. I was trying to find the statement they make on their stories, but it was something in line that, you know, even though he's convicted, even though he's just a guy from the festival and not per se the whole festival, but there's things going on that made us decide that the festival is not safe and not taking enough responsibilities. So we are not going to play there. Just, you know. I admire that from a band.
Definitely. I admire that a lot. Must be said, I have some more going on. Like, people were asking questions. Like, is this guy, because you can say you remove him from the festival, but is he still in the kind of booking organization as one of the founding members? They responded at some point that they are actually removing him from there as well. Good. And they also said, we are also currently working on our own awareness concept. Well, maybe listen to people. That would be a thing. So to say that. Then there were like a lot of bands in the comments also who gave some support to the festival. Okay, sure, not everyone is involved in this drama, but like I see, for example, the band Robse posting a statement about this, who were actually the band who was watching my whole assault happening last year. It was happening in front of their face. They were looking straight at me in the eyes to ask me if I was okay. They didn't do shit. And now they come up with a statement like, oh, we don't tolerate this and we will not work with this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? Oh, really? Don't put out these statements if you're not following
actually
it up.
Mean
like,
it.
Yeah. Like, in any case, then what happens more, they said that there will be some lineup changes. And I checked what was on the bill. Of course, Stolstefeer was off that. There were 3 bands that were yet to announce, even though the festival is already sold out. But there was another band missing from the bill. And that's Inquisition. Inquisition does not have anything on their socials about the whole thing. That is not strange because Inquisition is not really active in the socials. But they also didn't really post why or what that the fact that they actually canceled it right now. And who was the one who canceled it? Was it Inquisition who said, okay, we don't want a drama. People obviously don't like us, so we don't feel okay to play if people don't like it. Or was it the festival that said, okay, after all this chaos and the comments of the people, we decide to cancel it? We don't know. Was it Dark Troll who cancelled? Was it Inquisition who cancelled? Who was it? And also, can you explain to me why this guy only gets kicked off after this conviction? I mean, you're not getting arrested and convicted the next day. There's a whole period going on. Like, if somebody is accused of this and you're having such a public function, why was this person not...
Maybe they hoped he was, set free from the... and then they could continue like they were doing, because it wasn't causing any drama. So only worry about it if it becomes a problem.
Would they have even done this all if the bill didn't write about it? I don't know. I mean, it's weird. Like, there's so much questions that goes around this topic, and I mean, shit happens in every festival, and it's always hard to deal with it. And I think about all these volunteers, all these people working with goodwill, who are working hard to get this festival to be a nice festival. It sucks for them, but at the same time, people should really stand behind their statements and maybe realize that you can't just put out a statement say there is no millimeter of room when there really is a whole lot of space to do things. Because, oh no, I don't know, maybe we don't get this guy working. We paid already for this guy, Yeah, kind of weird. So that pissed me off a lot this week. And it's been quite a story. But we already promised a long episodes. Let's move on to not get fully worked up anymore. Okay, I already shared my ikigai about my black greenhouse. Do you have anything that made you happy this week?
I don't know. There's always silence when you ask this. It's not that I'm a not happy person, but I don't know. I just liked I liked last week the bands. It's nice that they're sharing the photos that I made on Instagram a lot. A lot of nice comments, so that makes me happy. And tonight I'm going to meet a photographer friend of ours. And we're gonna see 3 bands together. Looking forward. I sent out some prints to people. They were happy and sharing them, photos on the wall and stuff. And that they received the packages. That's always very nice.
True.
Yeah, so I think
good.
The music-related things that made me happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. I think then quickly go through the playlist. Now I've spent 2 times more than 9 hours in a car. So I guess
we're gonna talk 9 hours.
You could safely say that I've listened to quite some albums.
Okay, you've got 3 minutes to talk about this.
I'm just gonna mention a couple because I have my usual playlist. I updated it with a couple of albums that I've recently received. So the new ones are Himmelkraft. I did Imperial Triumphant. I listened to Berlioz. And I listened to Cyclone 9. Something new. I listened to a couple of the older ones like Morlocks. I listened to a lot of the Finnish bands I usually listen to.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just add things to my car playlist, not so much remove stuff. Yeah. I think that, maybe that's... I don't even need 3 minutes. Yeah. That's the couple of the new ones. Your turn.
Yeah, nothing new except the man-eating tree. I've been listening to old stuff. I've been listening to Katatonia, to Opeth, to Moon Coven, to... I have this little blues mix playlist. With all... Graveyard, all of them Witchers.
We totally forgot to talk about the Katatonia news.
Yeah. Huh.
Well.
Yeah, there's one guy quitting the band.
Yep. He likes
kind
to play
funny
the old
because
stuff.
I think it was kind of funny because they first released the tour schedule and then the next day they released, he's not playing in the band anymore. Like, maybe you should do that before dropping the tour.
We have some things said about that also before, I think. Yeah. But it seems like the guy leaving, and he's kind of wanted to play some of the older material, and the rest of the band prefer to keep with the new one. I'm like, why don't you just do an anniversary tour? Then got that guy happy, and then you can be together as always. But apparently that didn't happen.
Well, I can understand that you want to play, you don't want to look away from the old material that made you what you are today,
Yeah.
But I can also understand that after so many years, there's new things, new roads. But that,
sure, but
that doesn't mean you have to look away from the old. So difficult.
I mean, it's difficult also because... let's look. I mean, bands do anniversary tours all the time, so why not? But then again, also the singer had some medical issues why he couldn't do that old style so much anymore. So that's also something you need to keep in consideration.
Yeah.
So there's a bit for each side to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better that somebody else steps in for the band and continues like that. Yeah.
We will see. We will find out.
Yeah. So, now we discussed it also.
Yes.
Well, then I think we can kind of close it off.
Yes.
We've talked enough.
My recommendation for today is actually I have to listen according to this music side, I should listen to Soilwork today. So
Today.
yeah, recommendation for today: Soilwork.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Do they mention an album?
Yeah.
Rejection Roll.
No, verkligheten, or my Swedish is not the.
Oh yeah.
Verkligheten.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
and enjoy that.
Apparently, I have to listen to it.
And you listen.
I'm not gonna respond to that, you know. You know that I'm not always listening to people.
No.
It only takes like 12 weeks for me to listen to an album you recommend, so
But then you always realize that I was right, that you like it.
Yeah.
So you should learn from that.
Yeah, learn from my mistakes. Listen to my second voice in my head. It's called Sabine.
Yeah.
You're my second brain sometimes.
I'm better than that algorithm there.
Yes, you are.
All right.
No
Well,
jokes aside, people. But if you have good suggestions for me to listen to an album, please let me know. Drop it in the comments. What I should be listening to, or Sabine, for that matter.
I listen to almost everything.
Leave us a subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah.
Like us,
and
like our photos on Instagram.
And listen to our recommendation for you. Listen to the Man-Eating Tree.
Exactly. Good album. Love it.
Yep. And then I would say I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Bye!